doesn't capture. Hey, doesn't matter.
It don't matter what they say, we gon' talk anyway. Bell rings, mic check, let the real ones play. From the legends to the new blood, climbing the ladder. Welcome to the show, it doesn't matter. Notorious Dome set the tone, main event status. BDC bring a fire, every take savage. Strap facts with the knowledge, history splatter. Poppy planting a wild card, say it loud, it doesn't matter. No filter, no bias. This is the It Doesn't Matter podcast.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the It Doesn't Matter podcast. I'm your host. I'm Notorious when I am Dom. I'm here with Strap Facts, and I'm here with BDC. Platno's on assignment right now, so you'll hear from him a little later. We got his comments, his thoughts about tonight's topic, and our topic is Vince McMahon. Fellas, what's good?
What's good, yo?
So tired.
Yes, we're all tired.
Yeah.
We all tired.
Apparently.
Yes. All right. So this is my topic. Vince McMahon. I wanted to talk about him. The reason why, because Vince is the reason why we watch professional wrestling today. Still to this day. He went through all the territories, poaching the top guys, and that's how we got the WWF. Took it from his dad's territory. Made Hogan a monster star, and he just got the ball rolling. Boom. That's our childhood right there. Vince,
yeah,
he was definitely a genius. But then I think after a while, he just got stuck in his old ways, and like the product just sucked for a little bit. Got pretty stagnant.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really help when you have the yes men in the corner. Yeah, boss. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Right.
Everybody knows you need to evolve. And, you got to roll with the times. You watch the news, see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy. When I first seen Vince McMahon as that announcer, I'm like, he sucks. Especially with his voice. 1, 2, he kicked out. Like, what a maneuver! Like, he never knew the move's name, nothing like that. I'm like, dude, he is terrible. He is terrible. And then it just picked up during the Attitude Era with Bret Hart and Stone Cold and Bret spitting in the face. And we got the Montreal Screwjob, Austin stunning him in Madison Square Garden for the first time, and he's convulsing. And then you see like the birth of Mr. McMahon. It was fascinating. Then we was like, oh, this guy, he's actually the owner. And Mr. McMahon, larger than life, probably bigger than Hogan. He's definitely the greatest heel in professional wrestling. Would you guys agree?
I'm kind of thinking of some of the greater heels that wrestling has ever come to know. And I would definitely put him in the top 3. Because it was literally the first time that a owner per se took the ranks of heel and literally was moving the entire company in a heel fashion. I mean, of course, you could talk about Bischoff back when he became the head of sorts of NWO, but at the same time, you still had management that was battling him. You had whether it was, who was it, like J.J. Dillon or guys like that who are basically showing up as the head guys in WCW that were actively battling Bischoff and NWO, so there wasn't really this total control like McMahon had over the WWF at the time. When he went heel, the whole company went heel, and it was like the faces was getting nothing. They were just getting like anybody was getting up into those top slots, he was destroying them. It was like basically there was no shine for him, and I think that's easily one of the reasons I put him in the top 3. I don't necessarily put him in the top slot. You know, there are guys that were heels that basically by every move he made, like the fandom just despised and hated him. Like essentially Roman Reigns, when he first turned heel, oh my fucking God, that dude literally, he could do no wrong as far as turning people to want to literally just murder the guy. Like he was just on an epic level heel, to me anyway. But Vince definitely was top 3. He's definitely in the top 3 because, like I said, when he went heel, he took the whole company, especially when he was corporate ministry and he was the greater power. Like he was kind of sliding back to a face, and then all of a sudden he was a mega heel. It was like, cause this dude literally pimped his own daughter out, put her on the Taker logo. It was like the things this dude was willing to do was crazy. So yeah, definitely top 3, not necessarily top, but definitely top 3 for me anyway.
Strap, what do you think? You think Vince is probably the greatest heel of all time?
I think the word that came to mind for me was unabashedly the best heel in professional wrestling. You know, yeah, he's the boss. He was absolutely believable because no one likes their boss, generally speaking. So, and him with the rivalry with Stone Cold, like that just hit the heartstrings of all human beings around the world, unless they're executives, but he was very believable and he was a great performer. We didn't say he was the best person to take a Stone Cold Stunner, but that's a different topic. But yeah, no doubt he's a great heel, and I liked him as a commentator. Because he was my commentator when I got into the business, brother. So I really enjoyed his style. It's kind of one of those things, like things you enjoy as a kid, you don't necessarily enjoy them as an adult. Have you had a box of Fruit Loops lately? It tastes disgusting, but I love that cereal as a child. Seriously, what the hell? Things don't taste the same as they used to. You heard of like Tapatio or Kalula. They use more vinegar. I don't know what. Anyway, but yeah, I liked his style. It was very, very, very loud. I mean, friendly to a child, right? He's loud. He doesn't confuse you with weird words and terminology. He talks very generically, and that's okay if you're just getting into it. And that's what Vince was always about as an announcer. He's like, hey, let me welcome you into our show. You don't know what this is? I'll introduce it to you in a very friendly way. And of course, once you get into it, you want to know the details and get intricate with things. Then you're like, I'm ready for the intermediate course. I'm ready for the expert level. Vince McMahon is an announcer, very basic, first level, open the door for you, if you will. And that's okay. That was his role. That's who he had to be. If you wanted to get technical and stuff like that, there was your Jim Ross. There is your Mike Tenay. Sure. But Vince McMahon, I thought he was a good announcer for when I got into the business.
Will you stop?
Yeah, there was your Gorilla Monsoon too. Dude was a move a minute. But yeah.
When did you guys realize that he was the manager or the owner of WWF?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much across the board. We realized it with Bret Hart. If people really kind of paid attention, looking back on it now, if people kind of really paid attention, you knew at WrestleMania 1 that he was the guy running the show. The way he was going about things, the way he was kind of doing things, even whether it was from commentary or in the ring, you could tell he was absolutely running the show. But again, back when WrestleMania 1 came out, you're not really looking at all that. You're not looking at titles or things like that. You're just looking at the product itself. And it's only through hindsight now that you can really look back at it and realize, oh yeah, he was really showing that he was the owner back now almost 40 years ago, or over 40 years ago, with that first WrestleMania. But I think to John Q. Public, it was definitely Bret Hart. It was definitely Bret Hart.
Strap, you?
What's the question?
When you realize that he was the owner of the company?
Jesus Christ, that's how far we went. It was just kind of like that figure, like, again, like from a child perspective in a way. It's like, someone's important, but you don't really know why. You can't really put your finger on it. And it's not something you definitely think about, But same thing. Like, when did we realize that he was the owner? During when Bret Hart was messing with him and breaking the fourth wall and knocking his headset off his face, and then Vince getting a really vicious look on his face, But it was kind of like he was in front of you the whole time. It was just an unspoken thing. It's kind of like if you're walking the neighborhood, you're like, you don't go to that house. You don't walk across that yard. Did anyone tell you that? It's like you just get this feeling, this hunch. So I think it was always underlying that Vince was an important person in the World Wrestling Federation. But when it was revealed he was actually the boss, was 97, getting the feelings around the Bret Hart incidents, and then of course after the Screwjob, and him coming out directly with Sergeant Slaughter, Gerald Briscoe, and Patterson, and it's like,
the Stooges.
He's the boss now, for sure.
Bret screwed Bret.
What a weird promo. It's like, he's talking. It's like, what the hell is it? As a innocent fan, it's like, what the hell is he talking about? There's a time-honored tradition in the wrestling industry, and Bret Hart did not honor that tradition. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Jesus Christ, just tell me the truth.
And that shit still doesn't make sense to me, because the whole Montreal Screwjob, Bret still had to the end of November. For some reason, Survivor Series was early in the month. Bret could have dropped it on Raw.
Yeah, Bret was playing on one playing field, and Vince was on another. Bret was trying to be who he was. Not talking about his marital relations, but he's trying to be an honorable, good guy, and that's who he believed he was, and that's how he wanted to act. Yeah. He believed Vince McMahon was also that kind of person, and of all the people that deal with Vince and defend him, like The Undertaker and various people, like, he's such a good guy. Like, people can be different things. People can be very good at some humanitarian things, and some they can just be cheap as balls and take the water coolers out of Titan Tower. They can do the same thing. It could be the same person, So Bret just believed that Vince was a different kind of person, and Vince, as 30 years later, we all know, is not who we thought he was. So it shouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, and I mean, you hear all the stories about how Bret didn't want to necessarily lose the title to Shawn Michaels. Maybe he didn't think he was ready, whatever the case may be. And Vince, the quote unquote time honored tradition is, if you're leaving the company, you leave the company, you drop the strap, you put somebody over, yada yada yada. And I mean, Bret didn't necessarily want to put Shawn over. Whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, like you said, he had the entire month of November. It wasn't really necessary for him to drop the title during the Survivor Series. And then what are you going to do? Oh, well, we'll give you a couple of W's on the way out. No, because what would have ended up happening is he would have lost the entire month. It would have been using him to once again put people over, and because that's always been a Vince thing. I mean, how many times can you really think about it where people were leaving a company, you knew they were leaving a company, and they went out a hero, or they didn't just go out a jobber, essentially just putting over people, because that's the unwritten rule. But I mean, with Vince, it's always going to be his way, like you said. Either it's old school, either you want to call it old school, or whether you want to call it not adapted to the times. It was his way or highway. And that's just what it was.
Do you think that was the right call for him to do what he did at the Screwjob?
I mean, 30 years later, I mean, it was kind of it's been a motivating topic. It definitely ruffled a lot of feathers the wrong way back then. You know, Bret Hart was gone from the company in every sense of the word until 2010s, when they finally got back kind of on the same page to come back. You know, it's tough. It's really tough to say. I mean, not to say that Bret Hart wasn't leaving the company anyway, but hey, imagine what happens if Bret Hart is still on good terms with the company when Owen passes away.
Yeah.
Imagine, you know, because especially at the time when that happened, WCW was pretty much on its way down anyway. Imagine, you know, Bret Hart comes back, you know, he comes back to the show, you know, that following Monday. Maybe he doesn't agree. He does whatever, but you know, during that time, you know, a Hart presence would have been cool to have, even if it was Bret just coming out to, you know, thank the fans for support, or whatever the case may be, you know, just to kind of be there. And you'd lose that because Bret was still very, very fresh in the piston that he was at WWE and at Vince at that time. I just imagine things like that. I imagine that there is a lot of talent that when WCW got bought out, there was a lot of talent that he could have helped to put over in the early 2000s, you know, I mean, by this time he had gotten kicked in the head, so his career was pretty much over, but there was still ways he could have put talent over, and they wouldn't have had to wait until the Hart Dynasty, many, many moons down the road. There was plenty of talent that was still influenced by him that didn't get the opportunity because he was in such a hate relationship with WWE at the time.
Yeah. Well, we know how he is outside the ring. He got a lot of stuff going on. Does that, affect the way you feel about Vince? Like, do you see him differently? Like, you know how we talk about how we respect Chris Benoit's work, but don't care for what he did?
Right. You know what, Strat? You got this one first. I'm a feed off you, brother. You go right on ahead.
Don, what exactly are you trying to get out of me here?
I'm just curious, like, with all the stuff that's been going on lately with Vince McMahon, like, do you look at the man differently?
Of course you look at the man differently, but does it change your opinion? You're just like you said, the Chris Benoit work versus human aspect of it. Of course, the jokes are aplenty. But yeah, Vince McMahon's legacy, like, what is it? Like, ultimately, what is it? And unfortunately, it's the newest stuff. The allegations and the lawsuits now overshadows him being the great promoter and the great mind behind WWE and pro wrestling. He has those things too. He forever will have those things, and it's not just him. It happens to every aspect of sports, entertainment. Think about Michael Jackson. I think maybe you said it. Great music, obviously, but there's those other things, including a very boring Netflix documentary recently, and a movie that's on Stars for some odd reason.
Real good. I watched it.
Why the hell is it on
really
Stars?
Oh, it's on everything. Stars just happens to be one of them,
That's
but
the
it is
cheapest
on
that
everything.
black people go afford.
Well,
30. You get the whole year for $30.
well,
No, my
Well, if
sister
you
got
get-
it for like $1. She's like,
Oh,
John, I
shit.
got this thing for $1. I was like, okay, here's my Stars login, and I'm looking through. I'm like, man, there's a lot of black
Wow.
movies on here.
well, I guess we know how far it goes when it hits Tubi.
Oh, speaking of
Tubi.
Tubi, Raven's documentaries on Tubi. I gotta watch that shit.
Yeah. No one wanted to watch the Vietnam Pro Wrestling one first, but I did. So,
I got it on my list. 'Cause I got Viva Van.
You know what else is on my list? The original Power Rangers from Japan, Zoo Ranger. Anyhow.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so people's legacies marred by allegations and bad behavior. Michael Jackson, O.J. Simpson, that's a favorite one. It's like, yeah, he had a great career, but he also allegedly killed someone. brutally, I might add.
Allegedly killed 2 people and did really stick up a whole bunch of people in a hotel room. So that did really, that
Definitely-
absolutely happened.
Definitely did that. Was it? Is that kidnapping or whatever?
OJ don't wear them cheap ass shoes.
I love that. I want some Bruno Magli's. That's some ugly ass shoes. But yeah. So yeah, he can. It's proven that people can have a great legacy of work, but they can also be pieces of crap. And that is not terribly uncommon in the world we live in now. So he's
That's
just
true.
another one of those guys. That's it. Do I cringe when I see him? No, I think of something funny to say. But yeah, it's not life changing anymore. He's every hero you've ever had. Cosby, Hogan. They did great stuff, great work, fun things, memorable things, but they also did bad things, some very bad things, and that's all it is.
Well, in the words of, I believe, Harvey Dent, you either live long enough, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. Vince McMahon is many things over his time. And, again, with hindsight being 2020 now, a lot of what he's accused of, you can kind of see in how he went about aspects of producing his shows. Because, I mean, if you really think about it, the whole Trish Stratus angle where he had her, exactly, where he had her do stuff like that, or even the I'm gonna make out with Trish while my paralyzed and totally vegetable wife is standing in a corner. There's so many different aspects where it's like, dude, you didn't necessarily have to go there. Why did you go there? And then when you start to hear some of the stuff that's coming out, it's like, oh yeah, actually now it kind of makes sense.
Man was horny.
Yeah. I mean, he called himself the genetic jackhammer. He's like Batman. Superman is Clark Kent. Batman is Batman. Vince McMahon is the genetic jackhammer. It just is what it is.
My ass does tricks.
Oh,
to kiss my man, kiss my ass club.
but yeah, it's like John said, with anybody, you have to work the bad. You have to work the good with the bad. You're going to have people that are amazing in what they do, but they may not be the best person in the world, period. I mean, Ty Cobb is a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. He was one of the best to ever do it, but he is also a misogynistic piece of shit. So it's like, you have to learn to separate. You have to learn to separate the craft from the artist, the art from the artist. If you cannot, then I mean, your opinion is going to be what it's going to be. But if you can, then you can acknowledge, okay, he did great things for the sport, but he's still an asshole, and just leave it at that.
Well, before he leaves this earth, I want to see him in the WWE ring one more time. Just like when COVID ended, all you gotta do is come out, hear the music. Where the hell y'all been? And then just walk out. Boom. Perfect ending. That's it.
That
That's
actually was That was actually one of the funniest scenes I can remember. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that
His
popped me.
music hit. He came out. Fans was cheering. He's like, "Where the hell you been?" And then he leaves. I was like, "This is
That's
awesome.
it. That's all you needed.
This is awesome."
That is it.
Yeah.
Remember that strap?
Yeah.
Man, is that all they showed on TV? Because he was there much longer. If you ask me.
Nope, that was it.
Nope, that was it. That was it. That was
And
all he
then-
did.
They had okay. Well, from my perspective and memory, because I tend not to watch the WrestleManias back because I was there. They made a big hullabaloo about coming out, and the first Mania out of COVID and all that stuff, and they had all the superstars on stage, and Vince does that thing. And it's like, yeah, people are crying. I'm crying, clapping, and then the music and the vents and the pyro, and then. Find cover. There's a storm going on, and Jade Cargill wasn't there yet. And it's just like, go for cover. We're like, is this for real? It's like, yeah, because there's a fucking like thunderstorm going on. Like, go seek shelter, and fucking Drew, Shane, and Lashley, and all these guys did on the spot promos because they had to kill time. And that's where Samoa Joe was in a poncho at ringside. It was crazy. And I remember, Dom texted me there, and I sent him a picture of me and the big dummy Mitch. And I remember that. WrestleMania got rained out for a little bit. Yeah.
Plotting
That
was long. That first hour was long. I'm like, yo, wake up, man. Take some shots.
He's got sleep apnea.
Oh, man.
But I'm thinking about Vince. Dom's a very gracious guy. He's like, for the fandom, let's have Vince come into the ring one more time. Like, he ain't never coming back to the WWE. No way. Not even for an appearance, because it's TKO now. Can you imagine, freaking, Colonel Sanders and KFC, he sold his business back in the 60s, the 70s. Yes, he's the face. He's the representative. He's the original AI symbol of things. The Chuck Norris, they have him doing commercials. It's like, that's ridiculous. And even Val Kilmer, he's dead. They got him AI doing, put him back in a movie. It's like, this is
They still doing Macho
something.
Man. Slim Jims.
He called the KFC gravy wet cement, So the Colonel Sanders wasn't too happy about the legacy of KFC after he invented it. But they still use his name. They still use his likeness. TKO, I think they're going to own WWE, UFC for a very long time. So, and Vince will be dead by the time they give it up. He ain't never coming back. But one thing about Vince is that Netflix documentary they had, and hey, we're all gonna get older and be the creepy old guy talking about things we shouldn't be talking about. But in that documentary, it's like, what are the things you enjoy in life, Vince? One of them, I love sex. It's like, come on, dude, you're 79. You look terrible. Well, he is 79, or however old he is. And it's just like, I just don't like sex. No, that's what I'm into. It's like,
When I saw that dude with that silver streak in his hair looking like Pepe Le Pew, I lost it.
Yeah. Hell, even when he had that mustache. He don't like facial hair. He man retired and grew a mustache.
he's like Vince. I mean, people just age naturally, right? So none of this people getting Botox and all that shit. They look freaking weird. Like Tori Wilson was gorgeous, and then I just saw a clip of her at the Hall of Fame during her speech. Like, she still looks fine, and like I said, people age and get older, but it's like she's had some work done, and it's like she don't even look like Tori Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, not even close. Like, Trish can still get it done. She didn't do any of that. She just changed her makeup a little bit, or whatever she did. It's much better than what Tori Wilson was into.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
All right, well, let's get into some fan comments. All right, our first one is from Rick Paisley. And he said, Vince, he's a geezer and he should be in a freezer.
Yeah, I like that one. That's good. Good man.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Tina from Facebook, she said, he's terrible and should stay away from the product. I hope the Samoans take over the company, honestly. Well, they got the
realism.
You mean they didn't?
Hey-oh.
You mean they didn't?
Yeet.
They running the show. All right, my man D Holmes from Matt Memories Wrestling Podcast. He says, "Say what you want to say about Vince McMahon, but you can't tell the story of modern wrestling without him. He changed the business forever, created unforgettable moments, and left a legacy that will be debated for generations. That's what makes his story so deep. The man, the empire, the impact, and the controversy."
Yeah.
Can't talk about World War II without Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. David from the House of Kayfabe. He says, selfishly ruined the territories and stole all their talent. Even before he had the clout to be a sexist, a rapist, a racist sex offender. Fuck him.
What's the name of this site?
That's from
Hey.
House of Kayfabe on Facebook, the group we in.
Would not exist if Vince didn't do all of those things, unfortunately. So, fuck him indeed, but then by fucking him, you'd probably be fucking yourself. So that's a tough one.
I used to follow a page. It's called No Holds Barred and Grill. I thought that was really funny. Rip 'em!
Oh,
What did that guy say again, Dom? What did he say again?
He said he ruined the territories, stole all the talent, even before he had the clout to be a sexist, rapist, a racist sex offender. F
All right.
him.
I just wanted you to say that twice. I had a thought, but I don't know what it was. No.
Yeah. Now, suffice to say, I don't say that to say, oh, I'm defending him wholeheartedly, but you still have to acknowledge what he's done for the business in order to have things like this podcast and that podcast, that site to actually have an audience. Because, if not, what would we have? We wouldn't have anything. WCW would not have lasted as long as it did without WWF. Really kind of taking hold of going mainstream. They would have been kind of stuck in regional cable hell until they finally just died off.
Yeah. All right. Well, our next comment is from our boy, Ringside.
Ringside.
He said, Vince is the reason we're all wrestling fans in the first place, and I'm grateful for that. But I don't forget he's a psycho and a rapist and a racist too. That's
Bingo.
Ringside.
And that part is what sticks.
I don't know the racist part.
Yeah.
But
Oh, black champions. Yeah.
Yeah. Booby. He
what does
said
he want?
he's a horny ass marketing genius.
That's good.
Well, so are former guests of this show.
All right. Our boy Dante, he said the industry of the professional wrestling arguably wouldn't be what it is today without Vince. We know he poached the talent of other territories to help grow the empire his father started, but any businessman will do scumbag things to help bring in money. The best way to describe Vince is an evil genius.
Yeah.
Can't have good guys without bad guys.
Yep.
There you go. But last but not least, our boy Platinum. He said, from all I've heard over the years, he was ahead of the curve on most of the industry, a risk taker, a fighter mentality, creative in the characters he wanted for his product, willing to adjust when needed in the beginning, stubborn towards the latter years. Unfortunately, he will be remembered more for his backstage antics and wrongdoings, more so than what he brought to the business of a one-on-one, but in my opinion, needs to leave the business alone so it can thrive for the future. Poppy Platinum.
Yes, sir. And while he's leaving it alone, you know who else needs to leave it alone so that the business could thrive? TK fucking O. Because what? We didn't need UFC. We didn't need UFC fighters coming into we didn't need UFC influence before. No offense, Ronda Rousey, but we didn't need her either. We don't need it now. So let WWE handle business. They kind of know what they're doing. They've kind of known what they're doing. I mean, they don't last for 40, almost 50 years without having a clue of what they're doing. So leave it alone and let them do their thing. And being as though one of your board members is a former WWE wrestler, you would really think they would keep their nose out of it, but no, not at all.
I agree. Strap, how you feel about these comments? Any of them you disagree on?
I appreciate all the comments from all the fans and members of the It Doesn't Matter podcast cinematic universe. Very, very
Did you
good
say
comments.
cinematic universe? Wow.
Very, very good comments. But yeah, Vince, everyone's got an opinion on this guy, and a lot of them and all the comments were very valid. None of them were wacky or incorrect. Vince McMahon is just that guy. You know what? For a long time, he was the boss, and the boss is liked, loved, hated, and vilified all at the same time, and that's the nature of the role that person takes. So
That part.
he's done good things, he's done bad things, but whether this is good or not, we're here doing this podcast because of the work he has done. Never mind his personality or background, but the work he's done has brought us here today, and generally speaking, we're all happy people for it.
So the final question, you guys know what it is. Does Vince McMahon matter?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does. Unequivocally.
Yes.
Unabashedly. Unapologetically.
A lot of unscripted on Netflix. Wait, no, it's Unreal. Oops.
Unreal.
Same thing,
Unreal.
same thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Vince McMahon definitely does matter. But next week, I say it matters. I can't wait. It's the final show of the month of August. We're going to have a guest, Strap Facts Boy. What's his name again?
Jim Buford.
Jimmy B.
It's Tim.
Oh, Timmy B. All right, whatever. Well, he's going to be on next week. He chose the show, and we're taking it back. You know we had to do one of them. So we're doing SummerSlam 1991. And I'm going to run through this card right now. In our opening match, we have the Dragon, Ricky Steamboat, the British Bulldog, and the Texas Tornado taking on the Warlord and Power and Glory of Paul Roma and Hercules Hernandez.
Woohoo!
Wow.
And our next match is for the Intercontinental Championship. You already know this match matters. This match definitely cooked. We have Bret the Hitman Hart taking on Mr. Perfect.
All right, now.
Yeah. Then after this, we have a tag team match. We have the Natural Disasters of Earthquake and Typhoon taking on the Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch.
The first lesbian tag team in wrestling.
Yeah, then we have a title match for the $1 Million Championship. We have Virgil taking on Ted DiBiase.
Money.
Hey, our next match, maybe we should get Lacey on, because we got the Big Boss Man taking on the Mountie in a jailhouse match.
Yes, Lacey. Trailer.
Then after this, we have a street fight for the tag team championships. We have LOD, Hawk and Animal, taking on the Nasty Boys of Brian Knobs and Jerry Sags.
Sweet.
Wow.
Then we have our buffer match. We have IRS, Erwin R. Shyster, taking on Greg Valentine. The Hammer.
Former IC champion, Greg Valentine.
And our main event is a handicap match with Sid Justice as a special guest referee. We have Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior taking on the Triangle of Terror, Sergeant Slaughter, General Adnan, and Colonel Mustafa Ali.
Oh, so this is before he wanted his country back, huh?
After. That is SummerSlam 1991. Looking forward to it.
I definitely have never seen this show in its entirety.
So we're gonna have some good opinions next week
So
from you.
I do look
huh?
forward to it. It seems like a good card. I'm very interested in that opening match because I've never heard of that match. So I'm very interested in that. Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart, Notorious, and LOD, and the Nasty Boys. You know, like back in around 97 or so, they had a special. They did a really great hype video after Raw, during Raw. They're like, all these stars are going to be on the show next week. They were lying. They were just trying to pop a rating because all these guys were in WCW. Razor Ramon, Diesel, Ric Flair, Hogan. It's like, wow. Oh, it's just a highlight show. So it was a 1 hour highlight show of all the past SummerSlams up to that point. It was hot. And, very, you know, the things that you don't remember, that you don't know, it's because they put them in highlight packages all the time. You know, they put LOD doing the Doomsday Device and winning the titles. Spoiler alert. They do show Brett and Mr. Perfect all the time. You do know about the main event with Warrior literally running out of the WWF, you know, but no, don't know about the Bulldog and Ricky Steamboat teaming up, you know. So I told you, that's the most interesting one to me. And it's probably going to be short and shitty. I know. But I do look forward to the show.
10 minutes.
I do look forward to the show. I do look forward to having Tim on for the first time ever in life. And it'll be a good time.
I can't wait. All right. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And remember, it doesn't matter, but we do. I'm Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here at StratFacts. I'm here with BDC, and we will see you guys next time. Boom.